All right, guys, back with another bid POV. I'm gonna skip the intro, all that jazz, just get straight into it. So, you know, if these are beneficial to you, great. So this specific property right here, what I did is I had to travel 3 hours to get here, and for one of my clients, I do this where when their properties flip post sale, I go out, I give them a one and done conveyance bids. You know, they rush to get them approved. We come back out and we do all the work and get all the work, and it's great. But it's a crapshoot, because sometimes you'll drive 3 hours and you've already committed to doing the work, and then you get to the property and there's just not a whole lot of money to be made there. So this will be a really good bid for you guys, because you're going to get to see, you know, there's just a little bit of shrubs. There's one tree touching the home, so there's just not a lot of big ticket items here. So you're going to get to see me really go into detail and just try to squeeze together some bids that I think they'll approve, to generate a little bit of income off this bad boy. So as far as I can tell, oh, and by the way, I am in the sticks with literally no service, just enough for an SOS call, so I have no access to the GIS or anything. But I believe the yard goes down here. Typically I would give the initial grass cut to someone else. I wouldn't want to fool with it, but since we're trying to hustle up some dollars here, I'm going to bid it as well. So when you are bidding overgrowth, overage on your grass height, it's important to take lots and lots of pictures, obviously. But it's equally as important to get lots of pictures showing grass height and different variations of grass height. So in other words, if I measure this one right here, and this thing is 4.5 foot, I don't get to price this entire yard as overgrown grass is 4.5 foot. You know, you've got to walk around and you've got to get grass heights from multiple different stuff so that you can give them an accurate assessment of what percentage of the yard is X height, what percentage of the yard is, you know, X height, so on and so on, all the way up until the, you know, acreage is met, which I'm pretty sure this is going to be an over an acre, so it's going to end up being, you know, whatever it is, 43,500 square foot, something like that. So you just want to get lots of pictures, like I say, of the different grass heights. You know, even some of the smaller grass, which this is, you know, dead for whatever reason and laid over, but just all these different dimensions to help you justify what it is you're going to have to do. And a lot of the times when you run these grass cuts through repair base, you know, they can turn into a pretty good little gig real quick, outside the fact that you have to lug your equipment, you know, to wherever it is you're going. So we got the grass. We're gonna start working through here. One thing I noticed when I was just walking around earlier was there are several propane tanks, and I think I counted 5. So gonna want to photograph them, and we're gonna go ahead and bid that. Let me write in my grass here. So initial lawn cut up to acre, 40%, 12 inches, 20%, 24 inches, 20%, 36 inches, 20%, 48 inches. So then when back at the office they get ready to plug this into repair base, it'll be pretty cut and dry for them, and they'll know exactly the information they're going to need to get it done. So like I said, we've got 5 propane tanks, I believe, so we're going to remove times 5 small grill style propane tanks throughout yard. We're also going to be putting a bid in here for all the, because this property is in post sale, so we're going to be putting a bid in here for all of the personal debris as well. Go ahead and get a bid on this pine tree right here overhanging the house. Trim 12-inch diameter pine tree right front of property, overhanging roof. And it's not touching, it's very, very close, but like I said earlier, you don't want to put in there it's touching and then it not be touching. Obviously, you know, you want to keep everything as accurate as possible. So we're just going to work our way around. We'll start with the right side since I'm over here. And, you know, we've got some saplings here. So these are good because every one of them is going to end up needing to be pulled up. And like I said, you know, we're digging for money. So we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove times 5 small saplings right side of home, growing close, well, right side of home. We'll leave it at that. Working our way around back. I can tell you down here on the south, or down here in the south, this time of the year, you see all this tin laying on the ground, better be careful around it. Because there is a lot of snakes. In fact, one of the guys that works for me down, he's a little more south in Alabama, his brother got bit this year already. So, you know, they're out there about, and for whatever reason, that tin, I guess it's just because of the heat, but them snakes love that. So we got handrails back here. The rear deck, they could have done a little better job when they were building it, but we're not here to judge nobody. But we got handrails, so we're not going to really have anything to worry about right there. So we're going to keep on circling. No saplings, no shrubs over here, but we do have one small tree touching the left front corner of the home. So we're gonna jump out here and get our dimension on this bad boy. If you are allergic to poison oak, that is not where you want to be. This 5-inch diameter tree. Somebody's Yeti cup. I guess they got mad and threw it out in the woods. Trim 5-inch diameter tree, left front of home, touching roof. Okay, so now we've made our way around here to the front of the house. Like I said, this is all going pretty quick because there's just not a whole lot to bid. And these right here are actually weeds. They're not saplings. We're not going to bid them as saplings, but we will take them elephant ears and bid them as shrubs. And then when we come back, we're just going to take them straight to the ground and spray them. Otherwise, they will come right back. We got 14 foot. .21 foot. Look, these hydrangeas are in direct sunlight. If I ever plant hydrangeas and they even get 2 hours of sunlight, they don't make it. And this person's got 2 of them in direct sunlight. I swear. So we're at 21 foot of shrubs so far. $25. 29, 32. So trim 32 linear foot, shrubs, front of home and around porch, 4 foot high. All right, so we're gonna go on back here now. We're gonna check out the shed. I do think I've seen a tree that needs to be trimmed on the shed, which would be some good news. We got a little bit of shrubs. So this dog house, so I'm gonna actually put this under a demo line item because it's gonna juice the price up a little bit. Chances are they're gonna kick it back to me and say, hey, can you just remove that as a debris or debris? And I'm gonna say yes, but there's been times where I've slid these dog houses in there, so you know, we're gonna give it a shot. And I'm not lying, we are gonna knock the doghouse down. So I mean, it is technically, it's being demoed regardless, but .4 foot by 4 foot. Demo 4 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot doghouse rear yard. We're also gonna bid to demo that play set over there and the chicken coop. And then we've got a tree touching the outbuilding for sure, and I'm pretty sure there's some overgrowth on the other side, and I can see a sapling. So let's get this playhouse. It's gonna be 4 foot. Foot by 12 foot. Demo playhouse 4 foot by 16 foot by 12 foot. And like I was saying, not all of this stuff, you know, they're gonna skim through this and they're gonna pick and choose exactly what they know they need to get done to convey the house. But when it's like this and there's just not a ton here, you know, shoot for the stars, which I always say shoot for the stars, but especially when you get to the ones that just don't have a whole lot, you know, really dig, take your time. You know, every property is an opportunity for an approval, and that is the name of the game. Good approvals. So here we got this chicken coop, 4 foot. It's actually a rabbit pen now that I get up a little closer. 4 foot by 7 foot by 4 foot. Demo rabbit cage, 4 foot, 7 foot. What did I say? 4 foot, about 4 foot. Okay. All right, so we are over here to the outbuilding. That will certainly need a door. Okay. Let's get this one shrub in. Trim 3 linear foot shrubs front of outbuilding. We got 1 sapling in the rear of the outbuilding. Remove ×1 sapling rear of outbuilding. And I did see a little vine that I'm going to go back to on the front steps. And when you're using this repair basin, this is a good piece of information. When you are using a repair basin, you get to some of these properties where there's just not a whole lot. The property's not helping you out much. You want to make sure that you look really, really good, because you definitely want to get, in the case of vines, the first 10 linear foot. In the case of a sapling, the first sapling. In the case of a tree trim, the first tree trim. Because the first one's always, you know, they pay more than each one after. So you definitely always want to hope for a little bit of vines, a little bit of shrubs, you know, a tree to trim, and a sapling. And you need it to be enough to where it's over the allowable, because if you can't make all of this over the allowable, then you're going to need to do it for the allowable, and nobody likes doing things for the allowable. So there's that sapling. Here is the tree, the rear of the outbuilding that needs to be trimmed, that's touching. Trim 6-inch diameter tree, rear of outbuilding, touching roof and siding. So we have this tree right here that's growing real close to the outbuilding. The way that I always judge on whether or not it needs to be removed is whether it's closer than a foot to the building. When you get into removing these trees like this, you know, that are right up against the building, we've done a bunch of them. We always, you know, sub them out. Obviously, if you find the tree that needs to come down and it's in the middle of a field and you're not a tree company, by all means take it down. But when you get into these ones that's right up on top of houses, overhanging houses, you know, and they become a specialty deal, and then I always sub it out. So, you know, I always check these trees, and if the trunk of the tree is 12 inches or closer, I always bid to remove it. We got 1 sapling here that's touching. Remove ×1 sapling right front of outbuilding, touching. Okay. Now, of course, I'm all the way back around here and I don't have a darn key on me to open this door, but judging by the condition of the door, I'm going to say it needs to be replaced. Let me go grab a key. You know, the funny thing about doing this, I was on the phone with a guy who does it actually on a little bit bigger scale than I do, out of Utah. Good fella. And you know, we were talking just about this industry in general, and it is really such a niche, and you almost have to be a special kind of person to truly enjoy it. But if you do enjoy it, it's hard to imagine yourself doing anything else. And you know, luckily I do enjoy it. But you see so many things. People are so unconcerned with some of the things they leave behind for other people to find. And a lot of times it's very inappropriate stuff. So you have to be real careful bringing your kids with you. So the door definitely needs to be replaced. We're not going to reglaze that. We're just going to replace the slab. So I want to photograph the jamb though, way they know it's good. We're going to get our dimensions right here on this door. What we got going on in here other than nastiness? 32. This house is kind of on the hill, so if I'm breathing heavy, it's because I'm actually struggling to breathe. 32 by 78. R&R. Outbuilding door, comma, slab only, 32 inches by 78 inches. This guy was a Falcons fan. I know he had to be upset when Tom Brady and the Patriots gave him the business a few years ago. If you're wondering why I'm not boarding this window, it's because I am not here to board the window. And I don't have anything to do it with, and I am not driving an hour and a half back out of here to get the stuff to do it with. So they'll approve this pretty quick, probably within the next few days, and we'll be right back out here. So, but in any other situation, you definitely want to board that door, because, which I'm not the one who secured the property, but if I were the one who secured the property and I was back here, I definitely would want the door boarded so I'm not liable for anything. And even me just showing up to the property and acknowledging that the window was busted out could make me liable for anything that were stolen out of the shed, but there's nothing in there. So, and like I say, we're gonna be back out here the next day or two, so I'm not sweating it too much. We got a downed limb back here, a few of them. We're gonna photograph them. Remove ×3 CY of fallen limbs throughout yard. Okay. So that is pretty much everything, with the exception of the front porch. The handrails are missing. So we're gonna go back up here. We're gonna get these handrails bid. And then we're gonna get in the house, and I don't believe there was a whole lot in the house, but we are gonna bid it nonetheless. And you know, all you guys know that we're only required to have handrails on one side of the steps, but when you're scrounging up for money, you can go ahead and bid both sides. And maybe they'll approve it, maybe they'll remove one side and only make you do the other, but it's not going to hurt for you to bid it anyway. So that's what we're going to do here. But this person right here Look at that. They did not want that post going nowhere. But I don't even... I'm pretty sure the dang things aren't even in the ground. I think they go right to the ground. And then they screwed them to the stringers and poured concrete around them. I was gonna bid to remove all that and put a price on it because I thought they were concreted in the ground, but they're not. That's just some ghetto stuff right there. But check this out. So we got 5 foot here. So we're gonna have 5 foot top rail, 5 foot bottom rail, plus our balusters. But when you are bidding these handrails, make sure you are counting here and here. And like if you were out here doing it for the allowable, you would want to make sure that you took the post into consideration. You know, they try to pay you, you know, $8 a foot on these handrails. I have found in my experience, unless I just happen to have the wood laying around, it's impossible to do it that way. But we're gonna have 2 4x4 by 8 foot posts set in the ground. Then we are gonna have our top rail, our bottom rail, and our balusters. So, and we got a 5 foot handrail, and the balusters are on 7-inch centers, roughly. So, seven, 14, so 14 balusters. Okay. All right, so we got 5 foot. So let's get this thing rode up. Get over here in the shade where I can see my phone. Front steps. R&R times 2, 4-inch by 4-inch by 8 foot treated post set in concrete. All handrails, exterior handrails, always have got to be green wood. I see a lot of you guys out here bidding, well, not you guys, but I see a lot of people out here building handrails, and they're not using green wood. You know, it's going to be rotten in no time. It's just not a good idea. Install 10 linear foot top rail. Well, install 5 linear foot top rail, right side, 5 linear foot top rail, left side, install 5 linear foot bottom rail, right side, 5 linear foot bottom rail, left side, install times 7 balusters, left side times 7 balusters, right side. Okay. Alright, that's out of the way. So let's work our way in the house. Now, like I said, this is this is the last opportunity at giving this place bids. And these are one and done bids. So when I leave here, I'm saying this is everything that needs to be done to this house in order for you to convey this bad boy. So if I miss something while I'm here doing all the rest of this work, I'm gonna have to do it at cost. So I want to be very, very thorough. And you know, I'm looking for mold and I am looking for ceiling damage. Those are the two big things in that wasp nest right there. Remove ×1 wasp nest, right rear front porch. So, but like I said, ceiling damage, water damage, mold, that's what we're really, really looking for. And then, you know, we're looking for everything else too, but we absolutely do not want to miss any of those things. And the same thing with the air handler, the condenser unit, and the water heater. So let's make our way in here. And I run through here and kind of give it a little skim earlier, and it wasn't too bad. Any soft spots, anything along those lines. I don't have to know the guy that lived in this house to know he was a loose cannon, because he punched a bunch of holes in the wall. Right here, that's a layup right there, that vent register. It's a trip hazard. (12x6), but I want to make sure this I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here, and then I'll just add if I find any more, I'll just add them to this line item. So replace missing vent register, kitchen 12-inch by 6-inch. You know, while you're here, you definitely want to document, you know, there's no stove, there's no dishwasher. We got a microwave though. Pictures of this back porch. So right here we got the water heater. Definitely want to document that every time you're in the house. Same with the air handler. Check, make sure the breakers are present. And since we're trying to cheese and get as much as we can, we're gonna bid all these water caps. So 1, 2, 3, plus a washer drain cap, and a dryer vent cap back there. So let's go see if we got 2 exterior spigots. Yes. Oh boy. Install ×1 dryer vent cap. Install ×1 washer drain cap. Install ×4 water caps ×1 hot water heater ×1 exterior ×2 washer hookup. Okay. All right, back at it. See, here we got another one. So we're going to photograph that, give them the old 2-finger. Go back here and edit. Missing vent register ×2. Change the kitchen to throughout home. Okay. It is hot. I have no idea what these stains on the floor are, but it's, I don't know if it come from the bathroom. That's exactly what it did. Look, the shower, I don't know if they just shower with the water, I mean with the door open, or if it leaks or what, but where the water has come out, it has come all the way around here in this house. All the way out here and damaged the floor. I mean, I've jumped on it, so I know the subfloor is still fine, but it just discolored all their, you know, nice hardwood floor. But I need to photograph that because it's going to be something that somebody asks a question about, and I'm going to need to explain to them the situation and what caused it. So, but we're working our way here into the bathroom. It's missing the tub, and it is missing a toilet. We're going to bid to replace this toilet. They'll approve that. They ain't gonna fool with this bathtub, but they'll replace that toilet. Replace missing toilet ×1 master bath. Be sure to include wax ring. The sheetrock on the walls and where it's missing, they're not going to worry about that. They're not going to want us to worry about that unless if it were on the ceiling, it would be different. I know they want to prove it, so I'm not even going to fool with bidding it. Now that's not the same for everyone. It's just this client. I've dealt with them a lot, and I just know. There's another vent register missing. It's 3. And There's a fourth one in this room. Damn. That door's swinging shut out there. It keeps making me think somebody's opening the door. Freaky shit going on down here. There's a 6th vent register. And we're gonna be able to remove this carpet. Because it looks like it could be just a little soiled, not too crazy, but we'll give it to them. If they want us to do it, they'll approve it. 7 foot. About 4 foot. Remove carpet, pad, tack strip, right front bedroom, closet, soiled. Well, that is the whole house. I'm gonna run back through real quick, just give it a once over, make sure I did not miss anything. And I think, just to be safe, there's no water damage on any of the ceilings, so I have no reason to believe that there's any issues with the roof. But I definitely want to go ahead and get on the roof and get photographs. And we're going to go ahead and list our personals on here. So we're going to call it remove 14 cubic yards exterior debris personals. Remove 14 CY green debris generated from trimming, and remove 7 CY of remaining personals. Interior of home. All right, we'll go ahead. Oh, almost missed something. These downspout diverters. So we're gonna go ahead here. See how many downspouts we got. Two. Two. Install ×2 downspout diverters, if I could spell. 5 foot long, 6 inch, 5 foot long, to deter water, to divert water away from home. Okay. So I'm gonna hop up on the roof and I'm gonna get those photographs, and there's not gonna be anything to do up there other than taking pictures, so I can end this here. But you know, I mean, we ended up with a fair amount of bids here, and you know, I'd guess when it was all said and done, I've accomplished the mission. If everything on here gets approved, I think we would have done well enough to certainly have come back out here. You know, the jam up with this one is it's 3 hours away, so you know, I might have to put my guys up in a hotel, and it's going to be 2 wasted work days here. You know, driving here, working, and then, you know, maybe they could get it done in a day, but that's asking a lot out of them. So, you know, you've got 2 wasted work days, and you really need it to be worth it. So there wasn't a whole lot here to work with. I did miss a sapling right here in this bush. So we'll go ahead and add that in there. Remove ×1 sapling left front of home, inside Laura pedalum bush. But there wasn't a whole lot here to work with as far as, you know, generating a pretty good approval. So, you know, I dug and I scrounged around, and I think I did okay. Like I said, I think it'll be worth the trip out here, but it's just a good example of how you can take a lot of these properties, even the ones that you think you can just clean out and cut the grass and they'll be good to go, how you can just take them and you can run through here and you can find things and you can generate an approval. And like I've told you many times, you know, you want to be putting forth the effort. Every time you get to these properties and you have an opportunity to bid, to create an approval and to create you know, some value for your company moving forward. So I hope this guys or helped you out. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you like it, please let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.